nobody needs a fancy intro. Too late now. But my wife bought me an induction cooktop. Now, I've said this many times before, one of the big things that I don't have off-grid is my stove top and my stove. And they're on the same circuit, so I can't take one off and leave the other one on. So she's bought me this pretty cracking looking little induction cooktop, and I've never really used one. It does come with a 1.4 meter cable, which is really handy, so I can plug that in. Now, I've only had a really quick chance to go through this, but it's a fairly decent size. It's 40 centimeters deep. It's got to be 10 centimeters off the back wall there. It fits up there quite nicely, and it's going to work. It's got a whole bunch of different settings. You can turn it from 300 watts all the way up to 2100 watts. It's got a couple of presets there. Look, all I really need to do is to cook sausages, steak and eggs, right? That's all I need it for, so it doesn't have to be too complicated. But one of the really neat features is how fast it heats up and how little energy it uses. Well, there we go. We're drawing about 210 watts. It's going up to about 250, go in and out, in and out. So we'll turn this on now and we'll have a look what happens. We turn it on and then we go, say, fry. And if you have a look at the thermal camera, we have already got over 100 degrees within just a few minutes. We can see the water starting to bubble off there. So it is pretty darn quick getting up to temperature. That is brilliant. Let's turn that down a little bit. Oh, actually, no, we'll turn it up. And we can have a look now. We're drawing 2,300 watts from my batteries. And if we go to another view, we'll have a look at the actual battery voltages themselves. So we're drawing about 35 amps from the batteries. We turn that off again. And you can see the blue bars pop back up, and the yellow along the top is the difference between this read and the last read. So we're charging at 5 amps again. We'll turn this back on. And then we go fry. We can see it drop down straight away. That's actually, we're pulling 1,700 watts from the batteries. The actual load is 2,100 watts. But that's pretty much on the money. We've got some really, really hot, the actual thermal camera is having some issues with that heat, I think. So we'll turn that back down again, all the way to 300. Now it does appear that there's only a small hot plate that heats up, which indicates to me that it's probably only a 7-inch, I guess, element, rather than the larger 9-inch element. And there is a fan at the back of it. It's quite noisy, but it's certainly within limits, I guess you'd say. But that is heating up so fast. That is going to save me an awful lot of energy from the grid. I can still use this cooktop, of course, but it does cost me money. I do have to pull from the grid. So some of the documentation says that you can't run different sorts of pans and stuff. This one's just a stainless steel one. Turn it back on again. Turn it on. And that works fine. Now, something I have noticed with these pans is everything other than the really heavy one, and of course once you take it off, it stops working and turns off. The really heavy cast iron pan doesn't make any noise, whereas you put anything else on it, it makes this buzzing sound. Now the buzzing sound does get less as you turn it down. It doesn't sound like it's going to hurt it at all, but again, take it off. It stops working. This one's a much more expensive pan, I think, according to my wife. And again, you can hear that noise, but also you can also see how fast it starts to heat up. So we take that off, put a smaller pot on there. Also works fine, but also has that little noise. And this is the oldest pan I have laying around, as you can tell. And that's actually the loudest noise. And interesting, this one's not flat either, so it's not going to work very well on here. Alright, let's try cooking some stuff on it. We'll go some sausages. Alright, we'll go back to the cast iron pan. It is definitely my favourite. We'll turn it on. We'll turn it on to fry, and we'll turn it down a little bit just to let the heat go through all the way through the pan. Should take this opportunity to have a look at batteries and have a look there. We've got 33 amps coming from it at the moment. If we turn the microwave on, it'll pull it up to 70 amps almost. Turn the coffee machine on, pulls it up to 100 amps. Come on, can we get to 100 amps please? Not quite 100. Pulling 4,000 watts. 5,000 watts are on the batteries. There we go, let it drop back down again. Turn the coffee machine back off again. That's heating up nicely. I assure you this isn't going to turn into a cooking show. But I do need to do dinner for the kids anyway, so I may as well get after it. Get done. A little bit of olive oil, or a lot. Make it nice and smoky for sure. Rightio, we've got some freshly cut onion and some sausages. Now that's only on 1200 watts. Sizzling away nicely.
Minutes later.
There we go, that's a lot slower than I expected. It's dragging its feet. I've had to turn it up to 2100. Got the cells there, got 96 amps coming out of the batteries. I think it's bouncing up to about 90 amps, 95 amps. But it proves how useful these are when I can just sit here and cook like this. And in fact, if we turn the microwave on at the same time, I wonder if that trips the power. 5,000 watts. 102. There we go, we can pull a decent load from those batteries without hurting too much. Got a bit of voltage sag happening there, 51 volts. That's not going to hurt it. We turn the microwave off. Should bounce back a bit. Tell you what, you wouldn't want to be hungry. This is taking forever. Solid 20 minutes to cook sausages. That's friggin' terrible. Might go in the cupboard just for when the power goes out rather than using it every other day. Anyway, tubers, this has been Cooking with Pete. I'll see you on the next one.